I'm over here on this side of town. Come on over here, try to clown. I never pipe down. If they weren't coming for me, then they definitely coming for me now. Use your common sense. Why is NASA Department of Defense? They divided up the seas into 33 degrees, feeding kids masonry. Bro, be careful what you read. Flatline. There's no superior bloodline. Flatline. You got me once, but that died. Ay, boy.
What's going on YouTube? This is Logan Oren and I'm back today with another video, and today I would like to discuss with you the only legitimate football game coming out that someone with a straight face could claim to be a competitor, or even simpler, just a viable alternative to Madden. Over the past year or so, there have been small independent developers coming out with football games, from Joe Montana 16 to Axis Football, that were to be released on platforms from mobile to PC only. And these games were kind of focused on appeasing the sim football community as alternative options to having to play Madden. Now, if I were to choose a game to endorse as a true alternative to Madden football, the only game that I would give my support to would be Canadian Football 17, to be released in 2017 by Canuck Play. Now, there are two major reasons why I believe this is the only legitimate option. Number one, although I don't know the history of this game, it supposedly has been said to have no relation to the PC title Maximum Football. It's supposed to be its own thing, but this developer is not slapping the sim community in the face by releasing this game on a platform that the community is largely not interested in. Although anything can always happen, we know that this game is being released, or supposed to be released, in 2017 on the Xbox One consoles. So the case is, it's not that it's coming out on mobile first, and then possibly it's coming out on PC, and then hopefully in a few years it might be on consoles. And for the spokespeople of the community talking down to those people in the community who don't want to play mobile or PC games, how are you going to blast someone for not wanting to lower their standards? If you don't like fat chicks, you don't date fat chicks. You know, you're not going to tell a guy to go out with a fat girl because she may lose weight, or you're not going to tell a guy to date a few fat chicks so you may eventually end up with a skinny girl. You don't like fat chicks, so you don't date them. You don't like mobile PC games, so you don't buy them. Number two is that when I listened to the video in Ryan Moody's channel talking about this particular game, the thing that gave me that promising, warm, fuzzy feeling is that it didn't feel like they were asking for a handout. It didn't feel like they were desperate or had anything to hide or to gain, except maybe for a lack of screenshots and pics and gameplay, etc. But it felt like the president was like, we have a game coming out, Canadian Football. It's coming out at this time, in 2017. It's going to be on the Xbox One. Check it out. They weren't asking for Kickstarter money. No GoFundMe. No support us, please. Eventually, we can have enough money that then maybe we can make a good enough game that will be on consoles. That's not the way that they approached it. And that was a good feeling to have when I watched that video and listened to this interview. Look, I just felt like this was legit and it was worth supporting. Will I buy the game when it comes out? No, I'm not going to buy it. But not because I'm not willing to support it, but because it's only coming out on Xbox One. And if you've watched my videos before, you know that I don't have an Xbox One and that I refuse to ever purchase one. I don't care what game is coming out for it. And I understand why it's not being developed for PS4. So I can still support it. And I've made sure to contact Sony and express my concern that it wasn't approved, to be developed for their Sony console. And I've told them that their product is a dying product, at least to me. And the lack of diversity in the second and third party products that keeps the PS4 relevant is driving me towards hanging up my system for good. So I literally only use my PS4 for playing Blu-ray movies. The interest really just isn't there anymore, and I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting back for a response for them. Haven't gotten one, but I did, reach out to them, and I expressed that. So, in a sense, I'm doing my part in trying to speak out to Sony to make sure that they understand that there is a demand for this product on their system. Now, depending on their response, I have no problem supporting this product and giving it a plug whenever I can. And I look forward to seeing what the finished product is going to look like. But I believe that this is what the community wants to really see. And if this is what we were seeing from Damon Groh and the Axis football crew or the NCAA wannabe developers, I guarantee you there wouldn't be all of this kind of bashing on their projects. The sim community wants a real alternative for Madden. They didn't want to feel like they're paying for their kids' supplies for their high school computer programming class project. And I feel like that's the way that I feel when it comes to supporting all of these small developers. A mobile game or a mobile PC game, it feels like it's akin to just a small time little technology project. And I know there's a lot of work that goes into it. I'm not saying that it's easy because I can't do it. But I guarantee you, if this was the way that these companies had approached the sim community, then the support would be there. But because that's not how we were approached, then you have the backlash. I can't, with a good conscience, I can't support Axis football. I downloaded it on my phone, and it looks, it looks like it looks horrible. And I mean, I guess if we want to talk about by mobile standards, I mean, can't really say for mobile standards because I don't play mobile games. I've downloaded a couple of mobile football games and I play them once when I download them, and then I have to delete them because I never play them and they take up space on my phone or my tablet. Overall, as a member from the community looking out into this company, I see promise. And I don't see promises. And there's a difference. And I'm willing to support a company that has promise and not a company that gives promises. This is Logan Oren, aka the Troll for Truth. You know why? Because the truth should mean something.